I'm right here in Canberra with Simon Chester, who is the sales director of Geocon. Thanks for joining me, Simon.
No problem. Thanks for coming up and visiting us in Canberra.
No problem at all. We're here to talk about the Canberra property market as a whole, as well as about Geocon, who is a dominant player in the Canberra property market. Simon, I understand Geocon has been in the industry for the past decade and has been a dominant player in the Canberra market, and it holds over 60% share in the property development market over here. Why do you think an investor should be investing with Geocon? What would be the key reasons?
Yeah, you're right. We have got a large market share, and we've had some rapid growth over the past decade with well over 800 staff now. One of the key reasons why investors should choose Geocon over other developers is the fact that we are a fully integrated developer. So we do our own construction, we have an in-house design team, in-house marketing team, and because we have such a large market share and we want to continue to grow that, we make sure that our quality is exceptional so that we can continue to sell more properties to purchasers down the track. And also the fact that we are doing our own construction and marketing and all those other functions, our price can generally be a lot more competitive than
I was going to say that having your own construction arm would benefit the consumer at the end.
Absolutely, yeah, and it gives us a lot more control. We're able to control the process. Where if you're using a third-party builder, you don't have as much control. It just does give us a big advantage to have that.
Yeah, and I mean, looking around at the sites, you see Geocon everywhere. So it's the experience of high-rise as a developer will add so much value to a consumer as well.
Yeah, correct. We have a really big focus on the consumer. We need people that are purchasing either for a live-in investor or a downsizer to have an excellent experience from the first time they look at the display suite all the way through to the end, and then they become an advocate for us. But yes, because of our size now and all the projects you saw today, we have projects in all the key areas. We have some apartments that are ready to move into today, some in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months and 2 years. So there's something for everyone there.
Correct. And in terms of the quality control, what sort of mechanisms do you take to make sure the quality is pretty smack in all the developments?
Yeah, so because we've been doing this quite a while, we do a pretty robust review after each development. So when we complete, our building and construction team go back, have a look at areas that they think they can improve, and they implement that for the next building. We obviously go through the standard process with buyers in terms of looking at defects, fixing those up, and then we continue to fix up issues well after that, if and when required. Given that we are the dominant player here, we need to make sure we have a good reputation. But as we grow and we're doing more projects, we're able to procure more goods more quality goods at a better price, and so the standard is lifting. In our most recent development at Midnight, we used the pod bathrooms that were pre-made. We can just put in, and that's something that no doubt will be rolled out in our residential projects before too long.
Yeah, as you rightly said, it's about fixing defects and satisfying the customers. I mean, everyone makes mistakes, but it's a matter of fixing it.
Correct.
So that will have so much benefit to a consumer.
Yeah, and we have concierges that for the pre-settlement inspections, they sit down, they have a cup of coffee, they watch a video just so that they know what sort of things to be looking for.
Yeah.
Not everyone's an expert, so it gives them a guide of what things they should be looking for. and then they can go through and check off the list, and then come back and check that everything's been completed. And then once you've settled, you've still got some additional time if you pick up something else in that period.
Yeah, fantastic. Talking about Canberra as an investment hub, I personally think Canberra has been neglected by Australia itself. Everyone is looking at Melbourne, Sydney, but I see so much potential. And if you look at the benefits of investing in Canberra, I would think number one would be the stamp duty concessions. We're looking at 2.2% as opposed to 4 to 6% in the other states. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the biggest part of my role in working with our agents outside of Canberra is educating them on the Canberra market, and people are very surprised. The fact that the vacancy rate here is the lowest in Australia, the yields are the highest, stamp duty incredibly low. There's no foreign surcharge on stamp duty, which is excellent. There's also points towards your permanent residency if you purchase an apartment. The entry level price is quite cheap, and extremely strong population growth. So it ticks all the boxes for an investment purchase. It's just not as promoted or publicised or known as your bigger cities in Sydney and Melbourne. But we're certainly growing that. We sold 100 investment properties overseas last year on the back of educating the market on Canberra and the benefits.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, as a foreign investor, you're looking at close to 13% in stamp duty. So investing in Canberra alone on a $500,000 property would save someone over $50,000, which is huge.
Absolutely, yeah, big saving there. We also, due to the high population growth and the very low vacancy rates, we also offer investors rental guarantees, which as an investor, your biggest worry is having an apartment vacant for an extended period of time, where we offer guarantees. So that can't happen. And as part of our service and keeping the customer front of mind, we also have internal property management, mortgage broking, our concierges, so that we can control everything and make sure that the purchaser has an excellent experience from start right the way through to finish.
Right. Talking about rental guarantees, what sort of rental guarantees would you offer for an investor?
Yeah, generally 2 years 7% is the one we run with. We do offer 3 years 6%. When we launch a product, we look at the demographics, we look at the vacancy rates, and so the offers can change. But as a standard, 2 years 7%, which is
that's massive,
very very compelling, and so we have confidence. And the advantage of doing that is we're able to start leasing those properties before settlement, and because we have the in-house team. And we're able to, even if there is a period of 2 or 3 weeks where it's vacant in the middle of the lease, you're able to, still collect your rent due to the guarantee.
Yeah, and it's going to be a cash flow positive investment for the local as well as the foreign buyer.
Correct.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, correct.
In terms of employment, and what are the other factors you think is driving investors into Canberra?
Yeah, so the Canberrans have the highest disposable income of anyone in Australia, on the back of very large federal government. About 50% of Canberra works for either the ACT government or the federal government. Very high-paying jobs, and so that leads to high disposable income. One of the other big factors that's driving, particularly in the unit market, is the median house price being considerably higher than the median unit price. Whereas Sydney and Melbourne, the gap's a lot closer. But if you look at Canberra, you're talking around the 820 median house price, but units, around that sort of 450, 500. So there's a very big gap there. And so there's no indications that the housing prices will drop. All indications would show that over time the units are going to rise, particularly as we run out of land. Sydney and Melbourne and Brisbane and Perth and everywhere else, as you're flying into these cities, you can see how they're expanding further and further out. Well, Canberra has a border, and so there's only so far you can go. So as we run out of land, there's more and more apartments coming up.
Fantastic. I hope that is valuable to you. Please feel free to ask any questions you may have.